Hmm. Um, hmm. The reason I have these ridiculously big fonts inside this virtual machine is that I was testing the some of the. It's not just that I have bad eyes, although that's part of it. It's not just to make it easier to read on the stream, although that's part of it. No, what's actually the problem is on very high resolution screens, like a 4K laptop screen, very high resolution. The yeah, so on displays with very high resolution screens, very high DPI screens, not just very high resolution. On displays like that, we've got a bunch of hard-coded font sizes in various places, like 9-point and even sometimes I think 8-point font sizes hard-coded in them. And on a 4K laptop screen, that looks really, really tiny, almost unreadable. Sometimes even totally unreadable. So the reason I put this really big fonts mode in Windows is because I just want to do start working on some fixes for the high DPI, some high DPI view fixes. I've got a long way to go, there's a lot of them, but I saw another one today at a client. This recent list looked really tiny on there. On their laptop screen. Class equals MRU. I know that's defined. I don't remember. I think it may actually even be a CSS file. Starting X. Hmm. Oh, there we go. Oh. Oh, that's a tiny one. And that's 12 points. Because the default font size is 8 points. See, that's really horrible. It's tiny. I think it should just be like 1 EM, or 0.9 EM, or 0.8 EM. I'm only building a VM. It's a bit slower than usual. I've moved the VM onto my SSD drive, so it should hopefully be much less slow than. I've forgotten the point of what I was doing. I think what I wanted to do is go into scaled mode, and then scale it down tiny, and then set the resolution very high. To simulate like a 4K laptop, I mean a 4K screen. So now it's kind of simulating what I'll see on a DPI screen, although that's a bit too much. Just screen. The idea is, let's not overdo it. Hello, Element HTTP. How are you? Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So shadows and windows. Alright, so There doesn't seem to be a lot of incidental discovery of streams on Twitch. You're on Twitch. That's yeah. That looks like the Twitch logo. Um, stuff. Not x64, I'm talking nonsense. x86 assembler 16-bit start. Okay. I still have some of my old assembler programs. They still have the source code. I probably need to set up a DOS box or something to actually try get it running if I wanted to try get it running. Assembling and running. I don't think I'd really want to get into assembler programming again, just as a matter of, yeah, it would just feel really slow, like, to get things done. Maybe to optimize, like, certain parts of code that need to be, like, really tight if I was developing some 3D stuff, but these changes are a bit of a pain because I can't immediately see what they're going to look like in a normal view. Normal. Well, I can copy, paste, build, here. You see those fonts? No, they look a bit big. Oh, this is very exciting stuff. I keep forgetting the name. That's with a K, I think. New OpenGL. Actually, oh, no, it doesn't start with a K. Well, okay. It's really big text at the bottom of the screen explaining what I'm doing. What did the fix this? Yeah, that's okay, I guess. Start page. I could say I put. I'm going to EM in 2 places. Now I can only find it in 1 place. So, I'm not sure he's got Kaji. It feels like this. I don't know, yeah, but yeah, it's really. I guess if you're used to coding in C++ and like C++ is like a low level, like it's a high level language, but you never escape the fact that you're coding low level. Yeah, basically. So you've got your web browser, which is like this huge C++ based application, and then like on top of that, I mean it's not. it's like if somebody said to design a proper system for the purposes of, you know, where OpenGL is now being used and what it's being, I mean not OpenGL, JavaScript, for the things it's being used for, you would never design it like that. It's just this historical and you know, the inconsistencies between different browsers and different versions, and but you know, but I did a bit of Node.js recently, and that's, you know, it's cool. It's like, it's powerful. It's not, you know, and there's some implementations of JavaScript that are quite fast these days, and I mean modern computers are fast, so I'm not totally dissing it, you know, but it's you know, I do quite a bit of JavaScript just incidentally for the website work I do, but it's not something I try, you know. I don't get up in the morning and want to code JavaScript. I would, it's not, it doesn't drive me or motivate me. I'd rather be doing C++ if I can. I mean, I've worked with many languages, you know, I've done C# projects and Java projects, and I do a lot of PHP work, which is fine. It's got its own problems, but all the different languages have pros and cons. They all have their own plus points. Like one thing that's a pain in C++, like this application I work on. I mean, it's not bad now because I have a really bad fast machine, but like this application, to rebuild it, and I regularly have to rebuild this application. I've done loads of PHP. It's definitely not my favorite, but yeah. At the time I did most of that PHP code, like Node.js didn't even exist, it wasn't a thing. So, like, some of the projects I did then, if I had to start them again from scratch today, I might not choose PHP. You know, some of those I started in like 2003, you know, the whole landscape looked very different then. My main big PHP code base, you know, started on projects, is still based on code I started in 2003. But yeah, the C++, like, the one thing that irritates me a bit is the compile times. Like, this this application takes, I don't know, like 2 or 3 minutes to compile, and it's something like 200,000 lines of code. You know, that's on a really fast machine. That's not bad, 2 or 3 minutes. I mean, you can go make coffee in 2 or 3 minutes and whatever, but it's, at the same time, it's also, you know, pain regularly waiting. Like, I did C# projects, and what was one of the things I really liked was, like, the program just runs instantly. Like, just press Control F5 and boom, it's running. There's no wait. But I suppose if you had a huge project, there might be a little wait, but nothing compared to C++. And it's so, the whole preprocessor system is a bit kludgy. I mean, this isn't a real modular system. This is, if you look at what the preprocessor is dragging in, it's like hundreds of thousands of lines of header files. It's actually really, it's disgusting. It's not a proper module system. It's just, that is how C++ evolved. So, I mean, the third-party libraries we include, like Boost, WX, these are huge libraries. And, you know, so they have compilers, like pre-compiled headers to help not be so crap, like to it caches the, the headers and reuses that between compiles to help speed it up. But that's really a workaround for the fact that it's not a real module system, it's just including millions of lines. I like C#, like I enjoyed working in it. I did 1 or 2 biggish projects in it years ago, about 8 years ago. I wouldn't want to switch to it as my main language, but it's it's a nice language. The environment is not the whole IDE is nicely done. It's it's well integrated into Visual Studio. But it's not. They were they were like not invented yet syndrome. So there's Java, which works perfectly well, but we don't want to use Java because that's the competitors created it, so we need to make our own thing. But that's what everybody seems to do, all these companies. Not invented yet syndrome. Sometimes there's good reasons for it. It's usually a mix of reasons and not invented yet syndrome. I'm just tendering while I program it. Anyway, it's not important. New tender match. Anyway. What was I doing? With the programming or with the Tinder. I only started trying this Tinder thing recently. Yeah, I've been using it a few weeks. Not really. Just getting into it. I was surprised. The Tinder app has been quite unstable and buggy. I had, it worked for a while, and then then one of the updates, I just kept crashing. I just was crash. It lasted about 3-4 weeks. Past 3-4 weeks, it's just been crashing. I thought big app like Tinder, they must have a lot of developers. It must work really well. Nah, apparently it's known to be buggy as well. But since the last update, it's stopped crashing. So this is like a known thing. Like I searched for it, Tinder buggy, and like a lot of people have been complaining about it. I think they just don't seem to bother it, or it's just hard finding developers. It's funny. It's actually funny that I can sit and do this professional stream, but actually, sit and Tinder on the side. I can pretend I've got important messages coming in that I have to respond to. I actually started streaming on Live Edu, which used to be live coding, and I had a lot of views. I had over 15,000 views on live coding, but the past couple of months I've been sidetracked. I haven't had time to stream. MRU. This font looks too big, and I'm trying to figure out just where it comes from. That task section header. Yeah. Should be able to do an inspect here. Dev tools. I guess it's not really too big. I don't know. I really find it too big. I'm just so used to how it looked before. Dev tools. I think it only works if I'm. Basically, this component's like an integrated web browser. So we integrate. It's actually the engine, the open source, embeddable open source Chrome, underlying Chrome engine, basically. But we have various options. We embed Internet Explorer, WXOKit, inspect used to work. Let's see. She's quite cute. This is a kind of ugly, like C++ code that generates HTML. Definitely not too pretty. Critical samples, tasks, here we go, this is what I'm looking for. P classical task section header. Oh, I thought that was the headings. So that's 1.4, that's why it's too big. I think. That looks like a dog's breakfast. The font size is all over the place. Looks terrible. Angular. Yeah, I did an Angular project. Also, yeah, it's quite a steep. But I didn't do the project myself. I was involved. I helped with it. So somebody else had developed it, and then they needed me to add to it. That was recently, like a few months ago. It was interesting, you know. It was definitely interesting. It was quite powerful what they did, but was quite impressive. But it's a whole other thing. What is that? 1.2. Now that looks too small to me. Still, that's, I think, better than it was. I guess I can tweak this later. The main thing is to fix the unreadable. You know, if it doesn't look perfectly beautiful, that's not my top priority. My top priority is to fix the fact that it's unreadable on some screens. Like we've got clients with expensive 4K high DPI laptop screens, and they complain some things are not readable. I mean, but there's hundreds of these hard-coded font size all over this code base. That's the thing with this old code bases. There's always lots of maintenance work to do, where you're updating old things to work with some new change in the way things are done. Not that that's really a big change. I don't know, EMs have been around a long time, but I never used to use them. I used to use point sizes until I realized that that's wrong. But I only realized it after having millions of hard-coded point sizes in my code. Right. Some minor IDPI fixes. Start page. Committing that to source control. So there on the backups page, there's also this font size looks really small. Default folder for backups. I'm not sure why. It doesn't specify a font size. Maybe because I used a div instead of a P. The old code uses P, and this is newer code using a div. I don't know. That's not important. I'm more worried about. I mean, nobody ever goes there. I'm worried about things. More worried about things like this that you see every single day. You know, if the user every single day sees some font somewhere that's virtually unreadable, they're probably going to get a little bit annoyed. They're gonna, and there's no way to change it or fix it. So In fact, someone who complained the other day just sent me an email complaining about unreadable fonts in parts of the code. And you know, for every one user who complains about something, there's probably 10 users, 20 users that the thing is annoying. Okay. Dashboard. Generate dashboard. Like this. Buy now, like that's the message in evaluation mode for the user to buy our software, and the font is so tiny that it's basically unreadable. Maybe that's why people aren't buying it. It should be like 1-2 EM or something. Buy now. And I suppose we don't want to make it too obnoxious. But we have a few users. I know unofficially that you just keep using the evaluation versions permanently. So if we make this message a little bit bigger, maybe they'll feel bad. Anyway, go buy the software. That message there. Now the scary thing is that that's so tiny, and that's after I've already made it bigger. Surely not. That has not been made bigger. Let's see how it looks. How it looks. That should be like flashing. Well, maybe not flashing. I mean, you don't want. Yeah, that's really tiny. Oh no. So maybe it's way too tiny. 1.5 PM. Adding 2 pixels, maybe 0.2 EM. But that's a bit better. It's just readable. It's probably starting to be bigger. Let's see how that looks in normal mode. bold. Yeah, let me not spend too much time on this. Just make it bigger, make it bold, and stop thinking about it. Yeah, done. Okay. Let's just search for font size, like font size 9 point in the code. 46 lines, that's not too bad. Font size 8 point. 25. Font size space 9. So there's less than 100. That's not too bad. Can fix most of them, or should be able to fix most of them. Quickly. Why is it so small, man? The whole point of 1EM is that it's supposed to remain a readable size. Something is not right there. It's inheriting a small font size from somewhere. That's what's going on. That's why it's wrong. Oh, now I remember. This is not easy actually, because it this is sure, actually pretty tricky. That's why I was. You see, the body tag specifies 9 point. As the default size. So 1EM just reflects 9 point. But if I change it, everything is going to change. Oh well. I can't sit forever. I'm in this and wait, you know, months and months to test every last little thing. I'm not quite sure what to do. Something somewhere is going to end up the wrong size. That's the wrong one. Basically, right, so we're going to turn this on by default. IDPI fixes. Sure. This is this main dashboard. I'm going to make the font size 1 EM. This is the stuff that's too small. Wow, that's horrible. An old font tag. Really much. I know why we're using it, because of that some ancient thing I want to get rid of. Okay, now that is still small, but approaching readable. It's basically readable. That's it is gonna, some users might actually want it smaller again, because now things that used to fit on the screen might not fit anymore for some users. You can't have everything. You can, it's a ton of extra work to have everything. Why am I dropping frames? I'm just installing Postgre on a remote server over there. Postgre. Samples. So the multiple edition sample. Yeah, this text, yeah, full pocket. That's also too tiny on some screens. It is going to be bigger now, but what's going to happen on some screens is this whole thing isn't going to fit properly anymore. Whereas it used to fit, so I don't know. Some users might not like that it's suddenly a bigger font size. We probably should have a setting to change the relative font size, but I don't have time to do that now. So, I mean, we do have a setting to change the relative font size, but only in it affects the preview basically. I don't want to. I don't think it should apply to that. It should be something else. Oh, I must send an email. I must send an email to a client also. They asked about the font sizes and I sent them answer. Some more. I'm going to try triple non-EM here. Because that's too big. So this is difficult to find a balance. The problem here is existing users have been looking at these exact font sizes for 15 years. Now suddenly it's going to change, and like users don't like things changing. But we have to fix it because, I mean, high DPI screens have a readability problem. So we'll have to find solutions for the things that irritate them going forward. Oh, I see this does already use, try to use a narrower space also. 8 EM. I think I must enable these high DPI fixes by default in all the builds, and then just deal with fallout. Um, um, now this is also again the problem when you work on something and then leave it for 6 months. Like, I don't remember. I leave it half finished. 6 months later you try to come back to it. Maybe just to start with, I can turn this on by default, but if somebody was annoying someone, then they could turn it off. But this code base is really so complex, and every little option we add just keeps the code base complex. So I'm like, I want to simplify the code base. I don't want to overcomplicate it with all these little toggle options everywhere. Let's see how many things are affected roughly at the moment. But quite a lot, very a lot. We can actually compare before or after by just running the old the old soldier.com downloads. Waiting 46 seconds. So statistics here. You know what, I don't have a lot of time, and users can't wait forever for these fixes. They need them now. I really don't have time to spend months doing it in a nice fancy way where users can toggle and every last one is tested thoroughly. I'm just gonna have to just change them all in some very blunt way. Let's, I can maybe just do this, you know, and then just have the option to turn it off for now. Or something. Even so, I mean, look at all this. Why am I wasting time having this nonsense in the code? If this, if else. I mean, no, this code base must be simplified. So, ish. Yikes. The wind blowing the front door. I thought someone was coming to make trouble with my front door. Just check my CCTV. I've got a CCTV system. I'm just going to throw it up here on the phone. There you go. Keep an eye on it. So this is how it looks now. If the user has a high DPI screen and they run it. Looks terrible, doesn't it? Those are going to be basically unreadable. They can toggle high DPI using those fixes if they know about this obscure option. But I mean, that's just ridiculous, actually. Even then, so some things become better, but yeah, that is ridiculous. I'm going to just turn this on by default. I'll leave the toggle option for now since it's there. But I am going to enable this by default. It's currently disabled by default. Oh, it's enabled. Okay. Oh yes, that's why it's in the official build. Confirm. I'll put this. Look at those tiny fonts. Absolutely horrible. So I'm going to make this on by default. And then maybe some of the changes I've made now should be under if at least, just in case something's really off and some user gets really annoyed. So the quick links now look like that. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Same file. The quick links don't even fit now. And that doesn't fit properly there. But those are too big. They are too big. I'm gonna make them. And 7. That's how it was. Wasting my time, wasting my time. That's okay, I guess. Not really. That needs work. Okay. These could be 0.9 or something. I think they're too small. Let's leave that at what it is now. Okay, so that's at least not worse than it is now, I guess. That bar now is going to be giant. It's going to be way too big. That's alright, it's not that bad. Make it like 1.3, 1.4. Yeah, let's make it big. I mean, really. We're wanting help. This is a business. People must buy the software. I'm sitting here working for free and it's probably not. Okay. Okay. This is the one I think most likely to irritate users. No, there are a few more. This is one of them. This one, yeah, could irritate users if it's too big. Why doesn't it run matches? Gonna switch to back for myself. There's a voice in my head saying, just get rid of the old code. Maybe it's like 0.9 EM is like a right balance between the two. So it's scalable, but not giant. That's still very small. And the trend these days is like really big text. That's what's in fashion. On websites and stuff. I'm just gonna have to come back in later and clean up this code. Basically what should happen, the correct way to do it, these fonts should indeed be 1 EM, but actually I don't know what's the correct way to do this. There's no one correct way. Let's like add a few more style sets. This thing, blah. Okay. So this is all happened now. This now has over 2 lines. Hardly the end of the world. It does look like a sloppy mess. But yeah, And if we turn off our DPI fixes, right, okay. Unreadably small. It's also a bit confusing because it looks like pocket is selected, but in fact full is selected. Which is, it's fine semantics if it was a website, which it is, it's an embedded web browser. But that's website semantics, not Windows application semantics. What should probably happen is each of these should be some, like a span that's set to display inline block. And the style of it should be like, maybe look like a button that's pressed in. Like these kind of new. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's not my priority. What I'm debating with myself is whether to leave this chunk in, or if I'm just making more work for myself later to have to come in and sort that nonsense out. Do something a bit later, clean it up, take it out. You know what, if customers complain, I suppose the advantage of this is if customers run into a problem, I can immediately just tell them, click that on the tools menu, and they'll go, oh, phew, that fixes it. Whereas if I don't include this and customers run into a problem, then I'll have to say, oh, I'll have to release a new build. Wow, I'm spending a long time debating something so stupid and simple. Hmm? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong line, that's why I'm confused. That should be in the else block. I'm just going to leave that in for now. I'll make this here one none since it was quite small. And then just like that. Actually, I'm just going to get rid of this. Here's another way to approach the question. If I was developing this application completely from scratch, would I be adding that if else? No, I wouldn't. Not even a million years. I would just write one EM or something and be done with it. The problem is when you have an existing user base, users don't like changes. They get very used to, and then, you know, so you have to find a balance between managing existing users' expectations and experience in terms of not totally dramatically changing too much all the time. There's fixing things that need to be fixed. It's a balance. I don't know. There's not always easy answers. Like there's things in this application that options that I think are on the wrong menu, but I put them in early on, and I don't want to change them because the users are used to finding them there, and the documentation points to them there. So like even though they are more correctly somewhere else, Why are they? Why are they not? Why are they like different vertical heights? Strange. Why is that inside the bracket? Oh, I forgot this feature exists. Wow, that's really cool. We can see the two versions side by side. This, yeah, I'm getting tired. I can't commit this change now because of this weird alignment. I'm tired, I just want to go to bed. Not go to bed, I don't want to go to bed yet. But, okay, that's fine now, and then it's the alignment. Maybe the A tag has some style on it. I don't know. Or maybe it's got something to do with this image. What the heck? We turn this thing into scan, starting close, display, non-block. Oh, that turned around with div. It's turned around with div, I think. Okay. Yeah. Let's see how that looks. That's alright. Most stars. Yeah, that's cool. That's what I want. That's the wrong name. It just wraps. This I'm gonna need to work on. I've just broken a rule. Strict rule. I've just done development changes in the official build VM. That is bad, David. Very, very bad. I've got another copy of it though. So I can just, on the laptop now, I can just run the builds on the laptop. No problem. And there's extra copies all over the place actually. But still, I shouldn't have been doing this. And now I'm sitting with exactly the problem why you don't make changes like this. And I'm sitting with things I can't commit because I never already checked it says done. I'm not sure I want to do this. Yes, I am. Let's stop thinking about it. About scripts. Okay, nothing about it. That's what gross. Maybe rather adding that. So selected. This needs work. It's horrible. Um, I commit this, horrible as it is. It doesn't look horrible, it looks fine. Why am I bothered by it? I think it's gonna... Well, there's nothing between them, but the bracket being there is a bit weird. And... Anyway, fixing here dashboard is need rack. Body is a bit tricky. I just want to get the changes committed because this is the official build VM. I don't want any nonsense little uncommitted changes. I want to be able to build builds. Take the draft of a hatch. Okay. Builds 172. So I'm just going to run a test build. Okay. Oh, this should be closed while running the test build. Oops. Start again. So the build process logs various things, including the build revision number in subversion that it's building against, the date, the time. I have this build number that just keeps increasing. This is build 1773. Literally, we've done 1773 builds at least on our automated build system. Actually, more. But anyway. Even amateur on YouTube streaming, you get nailed with a copyright violation. No, I'm joking. I don't know. Talking nonsense. I was streaming from a coffee shop, and the coffee shop was playing background music, and I got nailed with copyright violations. Boom. The video is blocked in every country. Okay, result using this. I don't like to play music when I stream, but sometimes I need a break from the music for a while. I need some silence to clear my head of a number of things. I'm going to probably end the stream soon since it's almost 2 in the morning. I feel like getting some sleep. Yeah.